Welcome back to It's a Woman's World. And we've got the same co-host with us today that we had earlier, but we have a very special guest. We have Joan Kennedy, who is a speaker and an author, and she defines herself as the oldest motivational speaker in the country. We won't tell you what her age is because you'd never guess in a million years because she looks so young. Joan, tell us, what is it that you speak to folks about that motivates us?
Well, you know, it changes over time. Right now I'm talking about the rules of the game of life.
Ah.
I had a friend about 6 months ago say, you know, I didn't play by the rules.
Oh.
I didn't eat right, I drank too much, I smoked, didn't eat, you know. So I thought, ooh, what a title, you know. So that's what I talk on.
And Joan, you're an author and of several books, but this most recent one.
Yes, as a matter of fact, is your newest book, Joan, as I understand, is became an Amazon bestseller.
Oh,
Yes.
congratulations.
How did all that begin? Because that's kind of a big story, but how did all that begin and how did you bring that book together?
Wow.
Well, I think I'll have to say it was because of my own needs. But I was a stay-at-home mom for 18 years. And then in my late 40s, I went back to work. I went into the working field. I didn't go to a employment agency because I didn't think I had any marketable skills.
As a mother, of course.
As a mother, oh yeah, I'm just a housewife. I said that 1,000 times, just a housewife. So I talked to a few people, and I went to the University of Minnesota, Minneapolis campus, and I took a 2-day civil service test, the worst.
Was that bad?
2 days, huh?
2 days. But anyway, I did get a job in a bookstore. And it was 2 weeks out of every quarter.
Oh, wow.
So after 2 weeks, I was out of a job. You know? So I asked my friends, I said, I have to make some money. and you have things you never get around to doing. I'll work for you. Well, they got in line, you know. And so, you know, I did everything. I mended Oriental rugs. I refinished furniture.
Wow.
Helped scrape the paint from a house. I helped paint and sand and paint a sailboat. And I washed clothes and I ironed. I did anything and everything.
And you got into how did you get into the fashion industry somewhere along that strain of jobs?
Well, when I was much younger, in my 20s, I was a model. But
I
then
can see why.
Yes, but then, you know, you get married, and I had 4 children, and 40 is a little old to be a model. So I just thought I was too old to get into the fashion business, which I wasn't, but...
You thought that at the time?
Well, yes, who'd want me? You know, that was a biggie. Who'd want me?
There's so many messages in just hearing the pieces of your story, of your solid career before you chose to get married and have children, a wonderful full life of raising your children, and then coming out of that feeling like, what can I do? What do I have to offer? And doubting yourself. But then in your later years, you have these 3 awesome books, one of which was an Amazon bestseller. Help me understand how you define success, because we doubt ourselves. We don't always identify the skills that we have, but we have so much. If you would have given up on yourself, we wouldn't have these awesome books that you have written.
Yeah, that's true.
So help me understand what your definition of success was, and how did you determine you were on that right path? How did you realize this is it, I found it?
Well, first of all, everyone gets a gift. Everyone comes into this world with a gift. You find that gift. If you enjoy doing something, that's a gift. But we don't put any value on those gifts because they're just they're too easy. We look at
yes,
somebody
yes.
who's very successful. They can do this and that, and you can't do anything. You know, you think. I could have done a lot of things. You know, I could have had a cleaning business. You know, I could have been a painter.
I've heard you speak on positive mindset
Yeah.
to get where you want to go. You did some speaking on that subject too,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Well, I think you know, desire is our greatest emotion. Desire to desire something. I think it was Emerson who said, "Beware of what you desire, for you will surely get it." You know, and so I have, you know, I didn't think that I could get back into fashion. But I read, and I have to say it, psycho-cybernetics. I had no clue as to what that was. Psycho-cybernetics wasn't in my conversations, you know, wasn't something I knew about. But I'm a reader, and we had this little community newspaper, and so I always read the book report, you know, book review, I should
The
say.
Psycho-Cybernetics
Yes.
was one of those books, is
It
that
was
right?
the book. It
Yeah.
changed my life.
It did,
Just absolutely changed. It, you know, in it he says, it isn't who you are, it's who you think you are that sets the boundaries of your accomplishments. And he talks about visualization. And so I started visualizing, getting back into fashion. And I knew somebody in the fashion business. And, you know, I want to say she didn't know me, but she just thought I had too many children that I would never want to come back in. But anyway, every night I used to visualize myself having an interview with this woman. And every night I was told I was hired. Every night. I did this for 3 months.
Wow.
30 days. Because I had called her and she said she would interview me, but not right now. She was busy. But anyway, when I had the interview, she said, I'm losing my fashion assistant, who's 23. And she said, I decided the next fashion assistant was going to be an older woman who wasn't going to get pregnant.
And has some wisdom in her years. And it's my understanding that one of the women in your book is our Nadia here, that you interviewed her.
A wonderful story, a wonderful story.
It was an honor to be asked by Joan to participate in the book, and I think I at some point did the same thing that Joan and I have talked about, a few of the other women in the book, and we do this as women. We feel like, but I'm not a big enough success to be in a book about
Yes,
successful
yes,
women.
yes.
And it was a mutual friend that put the two of us together. And for me, it was about overcoming two major life challenges. One was losing a tremendous amount of weight after the age of 59 and 60, which to me seemed virtually impossible. So that has nothing to do with the money that I earn or things that you think of as a success, but it seemed impossible to me, so that was a success. And the other was overcoming a fear of public speaking, which again was my second
look at-
success, and
yeah.
here I am
Yes.
talking
Yeah,
and being
yeah,
here on the show.
yeah.
So thank you, Joan, for that tremendous opportunity.
You know, speaking of public speaking, it's the number one fear. In the book of, in
Yes,
the
yes,
list.
fears.
It's the number
is.
one fear, and death is number 7.
Yes, isn't that something? It's something, isn't it?
Could you talk about the secrets that you unlocked, or
That I
the
get,
secrets, yes,
well-
that you discovered?
well, in the book,
And we should say, by the way, that the name of the book is Unlocking the Secrets of Successful Women, and it came out last year.
Yes, it did. In the story, as I read the stories and typed out some of them and interviewed the women, there was always something, and they didn't really look at it as their secret. But in reading it, I would find something. And so at the end of every story is a secret. If it's working hard, not having fear, moving through fear, having a plan, whatever it is, you know, it was their secret to success.
And it was different for each woman, wasn't it?
It was,
Yeah.
it was.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, but these women moved through obstacles, fear, took risks.
And so if we look at secrets and we think about you and the wisdom of your years, what's your secret of having become, really not becoming, but throughout your life you were successful, whether it was in fashion or as a mom or chipping paint and refinishing furniture to being a motivational speaker and an author? What's your secret that you'd want to pass on?
Excitement, enthusiasm, these are the things that move you. I get ideas in the middle of the night, and next morning I'm ready to go. And I usually talk to my daughter about it, and she's mother. You just cool it. Cool it. Because I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful to start a mentoring, an organization of women who mentored other women, women coming out of college, women or business schools, prison.
Is that a
Yes,
project
yes.
that's in the works?
Well, no, it's in a folder.
It's in a folder.
So it's in the works.
But, I always say, well, if I was 80, if I were 80, maybe I would do it.
Well, I hate to do this, but would you believe our 14 minutes is over, and we could sit and listen to your wisdom
We're just
all day
getting
long. We're
started.
just getting started. So, Joan, thank you so much for
Yes,
coming and being
yes,
on It's a
yes.
Woman's World. It's just been a delight to meet you and have you as our guest. And thanks to all of you for tuning in and joining us on It's a Woman's World. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.